There she goes. Bull or bear today? Let's see. Coin's a bull, so let's see what happens tomorrow morning at the opening of the Crimex markets. Looks like they battered it down pretty good today. Take a look at this beautiful cam. There's some tasty snappers going by right there, and look at all the sergeant majors. Pretty active, but we're in our summer months, warm water. Should be lots of bait coming through here. However, the fishing's not been that good. I've heard it's kind of been lame, and man, I need to get out there myself. Just being on the water feels good. Well, I hope it's summertime doldrums, folks, and I think that's what we're seeing with the gold and silver markets as well. And generally, markets in general get very quiet in the summertime. But as I said last week, earlier in the week with the theme, I think it was a thumbnail, said the calm before the storm. I kind of feel like we're there right now. I mean, there's so many elements. The fact that the storm hasn't hit, you know, I watched a video recently, and there's a term called, oh, those are pretty cool. Those are runners, I think. It's kind of what's happening in a particular war when the trenches are set and the two sides just sit there, like World War I, where they just kind of sat in trenches and there was no battles for long periods of time. The Germans had a name court called, not Blitzkrieg, but they call it Sitzkrieg, Sitzkrieg or something like that, Sitzkrieg, which means like a war that's not moving at all. And that's what I think kind of we're like that right now with the precious metals and the economy. We're in Sitzkrieg, which is kind of the waiting place, I guess, maybe before the big stuff happens. Oh, he's a pretty little fella, isn't he? Let's take a look at my quote for the day. Interesting fella here. I usually like to show these quotes. I like to put up a quote every day, as you know. But not only that, when I get a chance, I like to read who made the quote, because that's important to verify it. This is "America is an insane asylum run by the inmates." And you know what, folks? You know, that's what a democracy. That's what a democracy is. More a pure democracy. We live in a Republican form of democracy, where we elect officials to make the decisions for us. I mean, good or bad, indifferent. I'm not quite sure which worse. I mean, a pure democracy is where 51% of the people vote for, and 51% of the people vote for something, and 49% of the people lose. It's kind of a mob mentality. You know, my mob is bigger than yours. We're going to overrun you. Whereas the Republican forms of government are supposed to protect, you know, that from happening, protect us from mob rule of a pure democracy. But America is an insane asylum run by the inmates. And one time the institution of government was it wasn't supposed to, the asylum is America, and it wasn't supposed to be run by the inmates. But apparently right now, in my opinion, the asylum is being run by the inmates. Okay, there it goes. There's my tacky meme for the day. And I don't think it's just one, you know, the blues or the reds. I think it's both when you really get down to it. This guy never met a war that he didn't mind sending your kids to die off in, so I don't have a love lost for any of these people, and more. Again, I'm not a blue or a red guy. I'm an American, all right? And these people are not Americans. I mean, they are, but all right, let me not get there. But, you know, we are, the inmates aren't running the asylum right now, for certain. That has to change, but that's what we got the upcoming midterms coming. You know, that's what those are for. All right, let's take a look at the prices today. Again, summertime doldrums is what we're seeing right now. 1820, well, the market just opened, so let's take a look at the New York markets here. Gold's just sitting in that range, 1820, 1830, bops back up to 1850, but, you know, we've definitely built the base at 1800. There's no doubt about that. Could we see sub 1800? It's possible, but I wouldn't worry. It's one of those buy the dip situations, and if you didn't buy the dip, just go, you know, go hunting, go do something constructive, go enjoy your summer. You know, you sit tight and hold. You don't sell at these prices, that's for damn sure, in my opinion. Even if you see sub $1,800 gold, which I doubt, and if you do, it won't be long. It won't last there for long. Silver still hasn't done that sub $20 thing. You know, I don't like short-term predictions, because it's really, I'm not about short-term. I think, especially when you get manipulated markets like we have, and not just the silver markets. I'm talking about all markets across the board are some degree manipulated, but silver markets are horribly manipulated. So I haven't thought we're going to see a sub $20, but I've said consistently, never underestimate these crooks at Crimex and the COMEX markets. You know, could they hammer it below $20? Fine. but I don't think they will. I think we're sitting at really a bottom level here. Plus, summertime has slowed up the retail buying, and I know people are saying, "Oh, people buy in the summer." Yeah, but not really. There is a summertime slump that we've always seen in precious metals, especially in the retail end of it this time of year. So you've got two great factors going on right now if you haven't bought in already and you're new to buying silver and gold. You've got low silver prices, sub $21 right now, and you get the premiums on generic products as low as they have been in a long time. And even I'm not saying that you should buy Silver Eagles. I'm not saying you should buy Constitutional Silver, but even the premiums of them dropped by $1 or $2 for certain. So premiums across the board on a lot of silver prices have dropped. And as you know, I'm a South Florida dealer, commercial rare coins and precious metals. We advertise to beat all the local people in South Florida. Here comes my shameless plug. We advertise to beat the local people here in South Florida, but we don't ship, and we're not a mail order company. We're not a online reseller, but we do advertise to beat Atmex, JM, and SD in their reasonably priced silver products and gold products. If you don't live in South Florida and you can't visit us between 10 and 4 Mondays through Fridays, I highly recommend you find yourself a good local dealer. Not just because I think your local dealer, like me, can beat the prices of Atmex, SD, and the online guys, but I believe it's good to establish a relationship with local dealers for a few reasons. You're going to need to sell this stuff. You're not going to want to ship it to the companies, online companies. Imagine shipping through the U.S. mail or whatever they want you to do. I can imagine a nightmare. I want my money almost certainly after I sell it. And oh, there goes the phone, didn't turn it off, and there we go, turned it off. So, as I was saying, gosh, got kind of a little distracted there. So we advertise to beat their prices, and local dealers, you should definitely check with your local dealers for, again, a couple reasons. Keeping that money local, most important in my opinion, because if you buy from a local dealer, you keep that money in your town, your neighborhood. He spends it at local restaurants, so does employees. He spends it at the mechanic. He spends it with the plumber. Good to keep that money local, no matter what it is, tires, coins, bullion, whatever, jewelry. Keep that money local. But competitiveness, your local dealer has to be competitive. So you may not have a guy that's competitive nearby, or you may be a grumpy old jerk, and you may not want to deal with them. So take another drive, half hour longer, an hour longer, but keep it at least in your state, damn it. Keep your money in your state. All right, silver, sub 20, again, sub 21. I don't think we're going to see sub $20 silver, but you never know. Things could blow up. And again, one of the most manipulated markets that COMEX, in my opinion, well, I shouldn't even say that because there could be other manipulated markets that are manipulated, but not to the extent we see it's done on the CRIMEX silver markets. And platinum, sitting at this 900 level. Again, platinum just steady and sure for quite some time. Palladium, again, I'm going to stop talking about palladium because I'm not quite sure where this palladium is going. It seems like it's going to continue to go down at some point. However, again, I don't read enough about palladium, don't know enough about it, other than just to make comments on its price, whether it's up or down. Let's take a look at the 24-hour charts and see what's happening here. Of course, you can see that the monkey hammer for gold prices occurred before the New York CRIMEX. Remember, CRIMEX, COMEX, CME Group, and I call them CRIMEX, the criminal enterprise that runs that casino. They are actually a 24-hour market. If you take a look here, I'm going to blow that up. There's New York Globex, which is owned by CME Group, and there's New York NYMEX. Most precious metal trading is done in the New York NYMEX times right here. These are the active trading times when the most business is done in precious metals, or the large, especially in silver, and maybe not so much in gold. My understanding is that the price discovery for gold is set worldwide. The price discovery for silver is primarily set in the COMEX markets. And I heard that from somewhere, and someone much smarter than me, so I believe that to be true. So gold market's much harder to manipulate on the in the CME markets, which is owned by, again, CME markets. So take a look at this. Markets started hemorrhaging before the CRIMEX markets opened, but I suspect this was done either in London, and London's a crooked gold market in my opinion, as well as the New York Globex markets. If someone sold heavy into the New York Globex markets before New York NYMEX opened, I suspect, who sells into a thinly traded market like this? Only people that are interested in manipulating the markets downward. I think they got their wish this morning because look what they did before CRIMEX, the NYMEX markets opened, and after NYMEX it just kind of hemorrhaged even further until the afternoon, then steadied sideways. Again, we're talking, it's above 1800. We built a great base. Silver, let's take a look. Going to be the exact same pattern, folks. oddly enough. Well, let's not say the exact same pattern, but drifting downward slowly in the early wee morning hours of thinly traded markets, again, where nobody would sell large amounts of silver or gold unless their intent was just to drive the price down. If you disagree with me, put it in the comment section and let me know why. But I think a lot of people smarter than me would agree with me on this. And take a look at this too, just trending downward in the morning and afternoon session in the Crimex market. So, okay, I'm cooking something else here, and it looks like my grill's temperature's gone down a little bit, but that's okay. I'll crank it up here. We'll get at the end of this video as well. I'm sharing with you that I'm cooking stuff. That's kind of weird. All right, let's get out of there and move into ZH. What's going on? Not too much. Again, the inmates are running the asylum here. The inmates and they are running the asylum right here, these folks, and that's just scary, man. Think about this stuff, and we know this stuff to be true. And what has it got to do with the price of gold and silver? Well, when society starts to collapse just like the currency, you know, one thing that gold and silver has proven throughout history is that it'll be here long past the crooks, long past the criminals, long past the fiat currencies, long past. Gold and silver has survived for 5,000 years as money. It's not going away anytime soon. It'll out-survive the criminals in the COMEX markets. It'll out-survive these criminals. It'll out-survive, out-survive. I'm not sure that's a good word, but you get my point. So it's here to stay. So why do I talk about this kind of stuff about the criminality and about the decline of society, the decline of fiat currency, and the decline of the U.S. empire? Well, because it's actually good for the price of gold, it's good for the price of silver, and it's good for people that own gold and silver. And I want to remind you that in times like this is, I think it's a good thing to own, for sure. Should you put all your money in precious metals? Absolutely not. I didn't read this, but as you know, ZH has a lot of different articles. Take it for what it is. Some of them, you don't have to necessarily agree with, but it's not the basic plain narrative that we get every day from corporate news. If you ever notice, whether it's Fox, whether it's CNN, whether it's Wall Street Journal, whether it's New, officials at this agency said this, officials in the Republican Party, officials in the Democrat Party, officials, at the State Department, officials at the such and such, officials at the at IBM. Listen, these worthless pieces of shit that call themselves news stations and there's no investigative journalism whatsoever. They're just mouthpieces for whoever they're talking about. Officials said this, but more or less, that's why I like ZH, because it does give it different opinions, and it's not like, hey, you got my point. Let's move out of here and move into gata.org. If you are a gold and silver stacker, even a silver stacker, they talk primarily about gold on here, but as I've always said, where gold goes, silver will follow. And I still think we're sitting at even higher. We're probably sitting at 86-to-1 gold to silver ratio. Let's take a look here. I'm going to open up Syria here before we get into some other things. 1,820.56 divided by 20.88.
It's approximately 87.1915.
Ooh, folks, that gold to silver ratio is widening even more. 87-to-1 tells me two things: gold's too expensive or silver's too cheap. I'm going to go with that silver's too cheap at these levels, and I think at some point when gold takes off, silver's going to slowly. Now, silver's not going to do much at all. You're going to sit there. If we get into that 100-to-1 ratio, man, load up on silver. God, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to advise you to load up. But, if you're like I'm thinking that we see some big spread in the gold to silver ratio, that tells me that silver's way too cheap. You should probably load up if you haven't bought some already. That's even a better thing to say. Where are we at as far as, again, gata.org. Always good articles, and you silver guys should read this too, because as I said, where gold goes, silver will follow. Introduce gold coins. That's interesting. Zimbabwe is going to make gold coins for their citizens to escape Florence. There's someone smart in Zimbabwe that thought about that, but let's see where that goes. Ban on these particular imports from this country is largely symbolic. If you watched my video yesterday, you'll notice that I said that numbnuts is banned. Just throwing more fire on the Cold War situation here. We'll get to that in a moment as well. I'll talk about that in comments on my video. And Bolivia's central bank plans to put gold reserves at risk. Wow, I didn't read that, but will invest gold reserves in international markets. My God, who is running their show down there? Not too bright, if you ask me, but then again, that's what happens when socialists, Marxists, and commies get in office and start running things. They're not too bright when it comes to economics, that's for sure. Well-intentioned, maybe, but not too bright when it comes to economics. Let's take a look at yesterday's video was Numbnuts bans Russian gold. Of course you know who I'm talking about. I think when I refer to numbnuts. But you know, I don't think anything is coming out of that particular person. I think that he is just, again, just like the media, he's a mouthpiece for someone else, and I believe he's a mouthpiece for, where is it? These people right here. I think he's a mouthpiece for these people in their prior administration, this person right here and others. That's who I think is controlling numbnuts, but then again, that's just my opinion. And I didn't vote for blue or red party in the last election, so if you think I'm biased on this, I'm not. I have mutual disdain for both parties. And I haven't seen a good presidential candidate since I don't know when. The last candidate before this one, my thoughts on him, they hate outsiders. It's just like, you know, the one thing that banks, you know, why cryptos were not going to last and you weren't going to see cryptos take over the US dollar is that banks and governments hate competition, but they also hate outsiders too. And, you know, the one thing I got to admit, the last guy was an outsider, and he was like sand in the Vaseline for that whole group of Washington insiders in the deep state. They all hate him. But I could go there. I got to do a political show sometime. All right, let's talk about yesterday's video, and I'm going to get into a few of the questions that some of you had. Not questions, but I'm going to acknowledge some of my commenters out there. You know I like to do that. Why I'm still a small, tiny video producer or whatever on YouTube. I can still do this stuff right here. One day, I'm not quite so sure, but I think that my videos are being kind of knocked down a little bit because of my content. So I'll never get a lot of commenters. We won't worry about that right now. Wellco Services, Bear, yeah, we are kind of a no worries. Yeah, can't argue with that, Mr. Montgomery, no doubt about that. Yep, you too, Joe McDonald, thank you. Eric, 1.69 pounds, chicken thighs for $2.99 a pound. 80 Addie's Connection. We don't have an Addie's Connection down here, but that's not too bad. I think we paid, what's chicken now, $3 a pound or something like that? Asking my girlfriend here. I'm at home doing this from home. Evening show. Yeah, you don't know, $3 a pound. Michael Matthews says, thumbs up. Hey man, not coffee. Michael, I haven't sipped coffee in a little while because I haven't been doing these shows in the morning. I've been doing it in the evening, so it's been pretty much water or wine. Maybe I'll move on to the harder stuff if I get more pissy. Thanks for watching. Tracy Norman, thank you. On the ammo, guys, I appreciate that. I asked about 22, not 22, I asked about some, I'm actually still looking at that box here. 38 special 110 grain silver tips hollow points, which seemed like a pretty cool little expando bullet for a little light pocket pistol. I was just wondering if after 10 or 15 years they're still good, but I believe they are. Thanks for commenting, Tracy. I appreciated that. Zane Underwood, yeah. You know, actually, Zane, no, I didn't burn the chicken last night. It turned out perfect. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. You like my new name for, I always called that guy that name. Thank you, appreciate it. Commentator, a commentator. That means you're a very common potato, huh? Appreciate the approach. Thanks for watching, sir. Appreciate that. Little sex channel here. We're going to remove that from the comment section. Let's do a remove. There you go. Goodbye. Coach Alpha says, where can I participate in live streams? I don't do live streams. One day I will. You know, these videos, I don't edit them, so I mean, it's almost like a live stream. I'm just like non-stop blabbing here, so I could probably do live streams. I just got to commit to times and stuff, and that's a little tough for me. The Scourge says, thanks for watching, Coach. Probably safe on ammo if you get an odd shot and don't use it. Yeah, I think it's okay. I have some old 5.65 or what is it? You know, the 223 ammo. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, $2.65 a pound. Thank you. Appreciate that. Girlfriend gave me a little tip there. $2.65 a pound is what we're paying for chicken here. Probably safe on ammo. Appreciate that, the Scourge. I think I can use it. It seems new enough, and it was kept in a really good dry location. Joey says, Kitco Silver Trucks at 2 o'clock. No, I didn't, Joey. It wouldn't surprise me, but hey, listen, it's quiet markets. If there's any time that they're going to try to hammer these markets down as low as they can, but for some reason they're just not getting it sub 20. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen though, but not for long. And I have a feeling if we see it sub $20 silver price, the premiums are going to shoot back up again as well, and buy prices are going to go up. Silas, what's up, man? Paper shotgun shells, man, those are old. I think I have some here as well. I've got some vintage World War II tracer, and I bought it at a gun show when I was a kid a long time ago, 1920, when I could buy the ammo there. But I got some World War II tracer ammo and armor-piercing ammo. It's kind of interesting. 30-06 and 30-06. I wonder if it still shoots. Not sure if I want to shoot it. Don't know how it was kept, too, for a long time. JVF Mastering, and thanks, appreciate that. Nice to see you posting. And there's some more sex posters on my comment channel. We'll just remove them. And nickels are worth more than 5 cents. That's probably 2. We know pennies are more. Thanks, Bob Myers. Spadanuda, what's up? Great show. Love the profanity. I didn't throw any. I've not been throwing the F-bombs out a little while. Been pretty calm, doing my breathing exercises. And the days have been a little less hectic here. Summertime, it slows down a little bit this time of year, so probably less F-bombs because of that as well. Thanks for watching, man. I would have no problem. Yep, thank you again, Todd. A lot of you know ammo real well, that's for sure. I guess gold and silver people also store ammo. Bill says he'd like to make it to my store, but I'd like to know my perspective. If I walked into the store, 2020 Proof 70 Buffaloes, how many BU Buffaloes would you trade for it? Bill, I've got to admit, I just don't follow the modern market. You know, I'm not quite sure. If I was going to try to price a 2020, I'd go and look and see what they sell for, you know, the selling prices for Proof 7. Not what people are asking for, but what they actually trade for. So I'd go on the Bay of E, as much as I hate to tell you this, type in 2020 Proof 70 Buffalo, and go and look at completed sales. You got to see if it's a PCGS or NGC, but look at what completed sales are bringing for that coin, and knock off 15% for PayPal and eBay fees, and that'll tell you what the buyer got for the coin in an auction type environment. But honestly, I just don't know, and I really wouldn't sell my customers Proof 70s and stuff because that's a collector type orientated thing that's grade related, and I'm not a big fan of them personally. But hey, listen, if you made it and you made good money and you can sell it to someone that enjoys it, see what you can do with it. As far as BU Buffaloes, I think they're spot plus 117 right now. So if you're able to sell your Proof 70 Buffalo, whatever you get for it, you should be paying no more than spot plus $17 for BU Buffaloes. I wouldn't trade for it personally. So again, sir, I don't have a market for the modern stuff like that. Not my marketplace. And what I wanted to trade for those I mentioned deals, I like to get 5 coins. Yeah, whatever you can get, Bill, the more the merrier. Hey, and thanks for commenting, and thanks for watching. I appreciate that too. Chris Dutcher, what's up, dude? I love the 38 Special. I mean, I've been a gun guy for a long time. You know, I've been carrying, I had a concealed permit since I was 18. I got one of the, you know, back when the counties used to issue them here. But no less, you know, I've kind of gone back to the 38 Special snub nose. Hammerless Smith & Wesson, I love that for a pocket pistol and for something you can just easily conceal around town. It's got more oomph than a 380. I think it's got more oomph than a 9mm. Doesn't hold much more rounds, but you know, usually as I'm running away, I can only crack off 6 shots. 357 is a bit too powerful, but I do own a Python that I'm working on, an old one, a shooter that I'm going to get fixed up again, and I might even carry that too. Hey, thanks for watching, Chris. I appreciate that. But I probably wouldn't load 357 rounds, and I'd probably just load some plus P hollow points. Thanks for watching, Chris. Appreciate that. Hey, James, what's going on? And thanks. I appreciate that. Keep collecting those 1-ounce rounds. Keep doing what makes you happy. One thing I learned, dip shot, dip shot too, almost like my video yesterday. Oh, I didn't say dip shot. One thing I learned between 30 and 40. I carry a 45 on a daily basis in my business as a sidearm for self-defense, and short little small version keeps 8 shots. That's all I need. Like I said, I just need 6 shots to run away with. And S. Armitage says, as long as I keep dry ammo good for decades. Thank you very much. That's good advice. Bobcat B, yeah, premiums are dropping dramatically. RSW Sloman says, if it was stored in dry temperature controlled environment, yep, I'm finding that true. If you keep it nice, it lasts a long time. You can't melt cents. Yeah, that's also true, size. You can't melt pennies. It's not legal to do it. Go figure. They're your pennies, but they won't let you melt them. Huh, that's government for you. Joey from Seattle, and that's about yesterday's video. If you didn't watch it, you can see I talked about an interesting deal there. Joey, there you go. Hey, it's hot here too. China's relationship with gold is cultural, where India's relationship with gold is religious. Very true, Chuck Stuff. Good comment there. Very astute comment and thought. Tree climber, yep, there you go. I like, again, 38s very much. Last First says old bullets are fine. Again, I'm starting to find this out. Paul Harrell, I also like his videos too. What a character the guy is. I like just listening to him talk sometimes. He gets pretty intense. Silverliner says, I thought the Russian ban on gold would be nicer. Nah, it didn't really do much for the price of gold, but I didn't expect it to. It's mostly symbolic. Numbnuts just a symbolic gesture to make it look like he's trying to do something serious. Hey folks, got to end it. Got to go check my chicken. Apparently it's too cold. Got to raise that temperature. Think for yourself. Question authority. Hey, have a great evening. Keep stacking those silver and gold bars. You know, be diversified. And again, I don't mean put all your money in gold and silver. I don't think that would be smart. But, you know, good to have a portion of your money into gold and silver. And if you haven't bought in already, these are great prices for silver to do it. Stick with 1 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars, kilo bars, and 100 ounce bars. Cheapest way to buy it. Stay away from silver eagles and other things. But you know that. And if you live in South Florida, come to see me because we're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Call us anytime between 10 and 4 at 954-493-8811. Happy to help you out with anything you need. And I'm going to call it, folks. You have yourself a great evening. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.